Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the star of our show, Terry.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to The Music and Me. I'm your host, Terry, and today we are diving into one of the funniest, weirdest, and most wonderfully chaotic musicals to ever haunt Broadway, Beetlejuice the Musical. If you've seen the 1988 Tim Burton movie, you already know this one is wild. But the musical takes that offbeat world and turns it into a hilarious, high-energy Broadway spectacle full of ghosts, jokes, and plenty of chaos. And here's something really exciting. Beetlejuice is back on Broadway for a limited time. So if you didn't get a chance to see it before, this might be your chance to catch it live. Now, I have to admit, I have not seen the musical in person myself, but I have listened to the cast recording so many times, and let me tell you, it is hilarious. I've even been listening to it to prepare for this episode, so it is fresh in my mind. The music, the lyrics, and the over-the-top energy just grab you from the very first note. So today, we're going to dig into the story, the characters, the music, and even some behind-the-scenes fun facts about this spooky Broadway hit. So, let's say it together 3 times, if you dare. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. So here's the scoop. Beetlejuice the Musical made its Broadway debut in April of 2019, with music and lyrics by Eddie Perfect, whose name, by the way, could not be more fitting, and a book by Scott Brown and Anthony King. This show takes the classic 1988 Tim Burton film and cranks it up to an 11, with bigger laughs, bigger chaos, and a whole lot of musical flair. The story centers on Adam and Barbara Maitland, this perfectly pleasant, slightly nerdy couple who discover quite suddenly that they're dead. Yep, one minute they're fixing up their charming New England house, and the next, they're ghosts trapped inside. Now, they're stuck haunting their old home and trying to figure out this whole afterlife thing. But of course, haunting isn't easy when Beetlejuice, the loud, mischievous, totally unpredictable ghost with the most, crashes the party. He's basically that chaotic friend who turns everything into a wild adventure, whether you want him to or not. Beetlejuice's over-the-top personality, dark humor, and fourth-wall-breaking jokes make him the true scene stealer of the show. I love Beetlejuice, the character. I have always loved Beetlejuice, the character. You never know what he's going to say next, and that's part of the fun. And then there's Lydia Dietz, the teenage girl who can actually see the ghosts. She's dark, witty, and completely fascinated by death, a total contrast to her self-absorbed dad and his new girlfriend, who just want to brighten up the haunted house. Lydia's relationship with the Maitlands and even Beetlejuice himself gives the show its emotional core. Underneath all the jokes and ghostly gags, it's really about grief, connection, and learning to move on. What makes Beetlejuice the Musical so brilliant is that it manages to blend heart, humor, and total chaos. It's spooky, it's weird, it's hilarious, but it's also surprisingly touching. You'll laugh out loud one minute and then suddenly find yourself tearing up during Lydia's heartfelt ballad, Dead Mom. It's a show that celebrates the strange, the unusual, and the idea that maybe being a little weird isn't such a bad thing after all. And here's a fun twist. While the show originally closed during the pandemic, fans refused to let it stay gone. Their passion was so strong that it made a major comeback. And now, it's back on Broadway for a limited run. Talk about refusing to die, right? The fans practically wheeled it back to life. It's become this cult favorite that audiences just can't get enough of. A true testament to just how alive Beetlejuice still is. Now, let's talk about the music, because honestly, that's what really makes Beetlejuice the Musical come alive, or, undead. The score by Eddie Perfect is exactly what you'd hope for from a show about Beetlejuice. Bold, eccentric, and full of wicked humor. It's got this incredible mix of styles. Part rock concert, part Broadway spectacle, and part haunted carnival. Every song has a burst of personality that perfectly fits the characters and their chaotic world. The show actually kicks off with a funeral because Lydia Dietz's mom has died. And then she sings an incredibly heartbreaking number called Invisible. And then the actual show kicks off with the whole being dead thing, which is Beetlejuice's big opening number. And wow, what an introduction. It's snarky, self-aware, and totally unpredictable. He basically breaks the fourth wall from the get-go, telling the audience, hey, you're in for something wild. It's not your typical Broadway opener, it's an invitation to buckle up and enjoy the ride. Then we get to the heart of the show with Lydia's songs. Her ballad Dead Mom is one of my favorites. It's raw, emotional, and it gives you chills. It's Lydia's way of processing her grief, but it's also such a powerful anthem for anyone who's ever felt misunderstood or alone. And Home, near the end of the show, ties everything together so beautifully. It's emotional without being sappy. And it really reminds you what this crazy story is all about, finding belonging in the most unexpected places. Of course, the show wouldn't be Beetlejuice without a little chaos. Songs like Say My Name and That Beautiful Sound are pure comedy gold. Say My Name is the clever back and forth between Lydia and Beetlejuice as he tries to trick her into saying his name 3 times. It's playful, witty, and perfectly captures their dynamic. And That Beautiful Sound, let's just say, it's one of the funniest ghostly numbers ever written. I love that song, but we'll talk more about the ones I love later. This song is full over-the-top humor, big choreography, and Beetlejuice at his absolute wildest. One thing I love about this soundtrack is that it doesn't rely on the movie's nostalgia. Sure, it nods to the original film with that Day-O, the Banana Boat song moment, because you have to. But most of the score is fresh and original. It manages to balance the spooky and the sincere, which is such a tricky line to walk. But Beetlejuice the musical does it perfectly. It's the kind of cast recording that makes you laugh out loud even when you're just listening at home. Or in my case, when I'm listening during my break at work, and then I'm wondering if people are looking at me and wondering what I'm laughing at. I love to listen to stuff like that at work. It's fun. Also keeps me in a better mood. Honestly, I have listened to it several times and it still cracks me up every time. Even thinking about it, it cracks me up. The humor is sharp, the lyrics are clever, and the performances, especially from Alex Brightman as Beetlejuice and Sophia Ann Caruso as Lydia, are just phenomenal. You can practically feel the energy through the recording. All right, everybody. I know that the last 2 weeks I have saved my fun fact segment for later in the episode, but I couldn't resist putting it back in the middle for this episode. So let's dive into some spooky, silly, and totally fascinating facts about Beetlejuice the musical. Fun fact number 1, the word Beetlejuice is actually said hundreds of times during the show. Seriously, if you thought saying it 3 times in the movie was a lot, think again. The cast and crew have joked that it's practically a tongue twister workout by the end of each performance. Fun fact number 2, the set design is a total feast for the eyes. The production used over 100 different lighting cues just in the opening number alone. The goal was to make the stage feel like stepping right into Tim Burton's imagination. Colorful, creepy, and completely over the top. And if you've ever seen photos or clips, you know exactly what I mean. It's like a haunted house meets a candy store. It's amazing. Fun fact number 3. Beetlejuice himself, originally played by Alex Brightman, had to create a unique, gravelly voice for the role. But here's the wild part. He trained himself to do that raspy sound safely, using a special vocal technique that wouldn't damage his cords. It's a true talent because, let's be honest, keeping up that much chaotic energy 8 shows a week is no small feat. Fun fact number 4. The fans are next level devoted. When the show announced it was closing in 2020, they didn't just sit back. They started petitions, campaigns, and a whole wave of social media love to bring it back. And guess what? It worked. The show was revived, and it's now back on Broadway again for a limited run, proving once again that Beetlejuice just doesn't know how to stay dead. Fun fact number 5 is a fun little Easter egg. The musical includes a few sneaky nods to other Broadway shows. Listen closely, and you might catch some tongue-in-cheek references to Hamilton, The Phantom of the Opera, and even Dear Evan Hansen. It's that kind of humor that makes Beetlejuice so clever, always winking at the audience while keeping you laughing. Pretty cool, right? It's the little details like these that make this show so much fun to explore. It's not just a musical, it's a whole haunted playground of creativity packed with humor, heart, and hidden gems. So why do people love Beetlejuice the musical so much? What is it about this wild, ghostly show that keeps audiences coming back, sometimes literally from the grave? Well, part of it is that it's just plain fun. The humor is sharp, the characters are outrageous, and it never takes itself too seriously. It's the kind of show that knows exactly what it is. It's bold, bizarre, and totally self-aware. Beetlejuice constantly breaks the fourth wall, cracks jokes about Broadway itself, and even pokes fun at his own story. It's like the show is in on the joke, and the audience gets to be in on it too. That connection makes it feel almost interactive, like you're part of the madness. But underneath all that dark humor and ghostly glitter, there's something deeper that really gives Beetlejuice heart. It's about grief, about not fitting in, and about learning to live even when you're technically dead. Lydia's story grounds the show emotionally. She's a teenager dealing with loss, loneliness, and feeling invisible in her own family. Though her friendship with the Maitlands, and even through her chaotic connection with Beetlejuice, she learns what it means to move on, to embrace who she is, and to find her place in the world. Whether you're a theater fan, a movie lover, or just someone who's ever felt a little strange and unusual, Beetlejuice celebrates that weirdness. It's a reminder that being different isn't something to hide, it's something to own. And it took me a long time to realize that. It's loud, proud, and unapologetically weird, which makes it such a refreshing break from the traditional, polished musicals out there. Plus, the visual spectacle is like nothing else on Broadway. Between the incredible sets, the wild costumes, and the jaw-dropping effects, yes, people actually vanish and fly on stage. It's pure entertainment from start to finish. It's the kind of show that keeps you grinning or gasping the entire time. And when you mix all of that with the show's devoted fan base, you get something really special. Beetlejuice isn't just a musical, it's a full-on experience. It's got that cult following energy, where fans dress up for performances, quote the lines, and share inside jokes online. The Beetlejuice fandom is one of the most passionate and creative out there, and their love is a huge reason why this show got a second chance on Broadway. Actually, it's a third chance, because it was on Broadway, then the pandemic happened, it closed, fans brought it back, and now it's back again for a limited time. So this is the third time on Broadway. So whether you're drawn to the humor, the heart, or just the pure absurdity of it all, Beetlejuice the musical has something for everyone. It's weird, it's wonderful, and it's proof that sometimes being a little different is what makes you unforgettable. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I haven't got to see Beetlejuice the musical live yet, but I've listened to the cast recording several times, and it never fails to make me laugh. Every time I listen, I catch some new little joke or clever lyric that makes me appreciate it even more. The writing is so sharp, the humor just keeps coming, and the songs are an absolute blast from start to finish. So I've got to talk about some of my favorite songs from the show because, honestly, they're just too good not to mention. First up, we have Invisible. This one really hits home for me. Lydia sings about feeling unseen, unheard, and overlooked by the world around her. And I can totally connect with that. There have definitely been times in my life when I felt invisible, just like her. It's such a powerful song because even though it's coming from this quirky, spooky show, it speaks to something very real and emotional. It's about wanting to be noticed and understood. And that's something I think a lot of people can relate to. Next up, Dead Mom. This one gets me every single time. It's beautiful, emotional, and completely heartbreaking. You can really feel Lydia's pain and longing in the song, and it's her way of reaching out to the mom she's lost, trying to make sense of her grief. It's raw and powerful, and even though the show is mostly wild and funny, this moment hits you right in the heart. Then we have Say My Name, which is just pure comedy gold. It's this clever back and forth between Lydia and Beetlejuice as he tries to trick her into saying his name 3 times. It's playful, witty, and the chemistry between the two characters is hilarious. You can practically hear Lydia rolling her eyes when Beetlejuice does everything he can to get her to give in. It's such a fun song, and it perfectly captures the show's humor and energy. Another favorite of mine is That Beautiful Sound. This one cracks me up every time. It's Beetlejuice's big moment to celebrate scaring people, and it's all about the beautiful sound of humans screaming, which is funny. It's ridiculous, over the top, and completely hysterical. The kind of song that you can only find in a show like this. You can just tell that actors are having the time of their lives performing it because I'm having the time of my life listening to it. It is so funny. And of course, we can't forget Deo the Banana Boat song because this one's a total classic. It's a perfect throwback to the original Tim Burton movie, which I also love the movie. And I may watch it after I record this episode. It's such a fun surprise when it pops up in the show, and it's a great little nod to the fans who love the film. It brings that nostalgic moment everyone's waiting for, and the audience always goes wild for it. Then there's Creepy Old Guy, which might just be one of the funniest songs in the whole show, besides That Beautiful Sound. It's this ridiculous tongue-in-cheek number that somehow manages to make you laugh out loud even as you're thinking, wait, are they really singing about this right now? It's bold, it's awkward in the best way, and it's a perfect example of the show's outrageous sense of humor. And I love to listen to this song while I'm at work because I always think all the customers are creepy old guys that I get. So it's hilarious when I listen to it at work because I'm like, oh my gosh, I keep getting creepy old guys. Finally, though, we have Home. I absolutely love this song because it's Lydia's turning point in the show. After all the chaos, the loss, and the supernatural madness, she realizes that she still has something worth holding on to, her home and the people in it. It's heartfelt, hopeful, and shows just how much she's grown. It's such a touching way to bring her story full circle, and it always gives me chills. That's what I love so much about Beetlejuice the musical. It balances all these different tones so beautifully. You've got moments that are hilarious, others that are heartfelt, and some that are just plain weird. But it all works together perfectly. It's one of those shows that doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's part of the charm. If you love musicals that make you laugh, surprise you, and have that perfect spooky edge, Beetlejuice the musical is definitely worth checking out. And if you can, see it while it's back on Broadway for this limited run. It's an experience you won't forget. A wild, hilarious, and surprisingly touching trip to the afterlife. And if you can't see the musical in person, definitely listen to the cast recording because it is hilarious. So yeah, Beetlejuice the musical is such a wild ride. Spooky, hilarious, heartfelt, and totally unforgettable. It's one of those shows that keeps you grinning from ear to ear the whole time, even while it tugs at your heartstrings. And honestly, after listening to that cast recording so many times, I'm really hoping I get a chance to see it live someday. I can only imagine how much fun it would be in person, especially with all the visual effects, costumes, and that incredible energy from the audience. Okay, everybody, since we've been talking about Beetlejuice and it's the perfect time of year for something a little spooky, I thought it'd be fun to give you a few more musical recommendations that totally fit the Halloween vibe. If you're looking for more ghostly, ghoulish, or just plain weirdly wonderful shows to get you into the spirit, here are a few more to check out. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. This one is the cult classic of all cult classics. It's campy, chaotic, and ridiculously fun. If you haven't shouted, "Let's do the time warp again" at least once this month, now's your chance. Little Shop of Horrors. A singing man-eating plant from outer space. Come on, that's Halloween perfection right there. Plus, the music by Alan Menken and Howard Ashman is insanely catchy. This is also the musical that made me afraid of Venus flytraps. So thank you. I do have a fear of plants because of this musical. Next, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. A little darker and more dramatic, but such a classic. It's spooky, smart, and full of Stephen Sondheim's brilliant writing. Then we have Addams Family the Musical, another great one for October. It's creepy, kooky, and a whole lot of fun. And it has a surprising amount of heart, just like Beetlejuice. Then one of my favorites, Phantom of the Opera. It's gothic, romantic, and hauntingly beautiful. Perfect if you want your Halloween to have a little drama and grandeur. So if you're looking to fill your October playlist or just want something fun and theatrical to get you into the Halloween mood, these are some more fantastic ones to dive into besides Beetlejuice the Musical, which I highly recommend you listen to the cast album. And that, my friends, wraps up our deep dive into Beetlejuice the Musical. What a ride, right? It's funny, it's spooky, it's heartfelt, and just the right amount of weird, which, let's be honest, is exactly what makes it so much fun. I absolutely love how this show takes a classic movie and transforms it into something fresh and totally its own. The humor is quick, the songs are fantastic, and the energy is off the charts. And even though I haven't seen it live yet, the cast recording is enough to keep me smiling, laughing, and maybe even singing along to Say My Name a little too loudly when nobody's around. What I find so special about Beetlejuice is how it manages to be both outrageous and emotional. Beneath all the chaos and comedy, there's a real message about grief, family, and finding your place in the world. Even if that world happens to include ghosts, sandworms, and a guy in black and white stripes who just won't stop talking. So if you haven't listened to the soundtrack, do it now. Seriously. And if you get the chance, grab a ticket to see it while it's back on Broadway for a limited run. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll probably leave the theater shouting, "It's showtime!" Thank you so much for listening. I had so much fun diving into the wild, wacky world of Beetlejuice the Musical. And be sure to join me next week, because I'm shifting gears from the afterlife to the purple rain. That's right, I'll be talking about the one and only Prince. We'll explore his music, his legacy, and how he changed the sound of pop forever. You're not going to want to miss it. Until then, keep listening, keep laughing, and remember, it's good to be strange and unusual sometimes. In my case, all the time. Also, have a great Halloween, stay safe, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace out, everybody. This has been the Music in Me podcast. Subscribe now so you don't miss a beat.